I will not leave you orphaned. I am coming to you. Beginning the journey out of lockdown is a lot trickier than going into it. One thing is clear though, unlocking the lockdown is not a process that's going to happen quickly. We're told that churches might not be back to normal until the end of the year or even beyond. And we'll have to live in a state of provisionality. With lockdown, a paradigm shift has taken place. In other words, the way that we see the world and ourselves and others has been challenged with consequences for the way that we think and relate and behave. We're experiencing a different reality, a paradigm shift. In today's gospel reading, Jesus is preparing the little community that's around him for trauma. They don't understand what's coming, but they are aware that his language is changing. He seems to speak in riddles. It's making them insecure. All this talk about leaving them. He's preparing them for a different understanding of reality, a paradigm shift. And it happened at speed with his arrest and execution. They lurch into grief and loss. We had hoped that he was the one who was going to save us, bemoan the two followers on the Emmaus road to the stranger who meets them. They had invested in Jesus for their future reality, and now there isn't one. What is their future? Then just as suddenly, another version of reality dawns. He is risen. Everything changes again, but it's not the same as before. Jesus is back, but he says, don't hold on to me. Still, the future is uncertain. Actually, they can't even imagine what the future might look like. It's beyond them. Can you make the connections with our own insecurities and feeling that our future is uncertain? A recent article charting the journey of the last few weeks concludes by suggesting that there are some green shoots that we need to pay attention to, hints about a possible future, but don't rush to formulate answers. It advises love the questions and live with them without seeking answers. The advice that Jesus gives the disciples doesn't contain a blueprint for the future. It leaves them with questions that they'll have to live with for a while. Instead, he uses the language of promise. And what's going on behind that is a question of allegiance. Remember Peter by the lakeside, confronted by the risen Jesus. Do you love me, Peter? Because linking with today's text, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. The word keep literally means watch rather than fulfill. The commandments of Christ don't lend themselves to measurement. There is no to-do list approach to living the Christian faith. Rather, they concern the quality of our lives, particularly loving our neighbours, loving one another, even loving our enemies and practicing forgiveness. And devotion to Christ inspires that desire to embrace Christ's way. If you love me, you will naturally desire this way, is what Jesus is saying. Love, devotion, births obedience. And what if this love for Jesus has grown cold in us? How might it be provoked into a living flame once again? I think the answer to that has something to do with the language of promise. Consider these statements. I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you forever. Jesus speaking about the Spirit, just as Jesus has led the disciples, has stood alongside them, has given them confidence by his presence, has emboldened them, so the Spirit will be to them and to us. And this is not a one-off special visitation. This is God moving in. He abides with you and will be in you. He makes his home in you. And this will be a permanent state, because once the Spirit is given, the Spirit is not withdrawn, to be with you forever. And then, I will not leave you orphaned. I am coming to you. An immensely strong statement, full of relational intensity. This is a family matter, Jesus says. God's commitment to us remains. And the promises keep on coming in our text. Because I live, you also will live. Those who love me will be loved. I will reveal myself to them. Do we trust the one making these promises? If our answer is yes, Jesus, you are my way, my truth, my life, then we are beginning to inhabit these promises. So here is no advice about a strategy or instruction for an unknown future. It's about God, by the Spirit, being present to us and us being present to God. In these days, we are losing some of our securities as individuals and as a church. A new paradigm is opening up, and we don't know how it's going to be, frankly. Can I suggest that this passage is a gift for these times? Spend time with it. Let it speak to you. Let the Spirit who is at home in you, praying in you, inspire your prayers, for you have not been left orphaned. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful people and kindle in us the fire of your love. Amen.